Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and as you may know, in today's video I am drawing amazing digital circus characters as memes. And for this very first one, I decided to do Kinger as the Jujutsu Kaisen meme. I felt so cool drawing this up because like almost immediately I had drawn Kinger in the exact pose and position I wanted. Like it did not take me long to get this position down. I did make a mistake while I was drawing it. As you can see, I started working on Kane over there because who else? Who would he be hitting? But I forgot while I was drawing this meme, and I picked Kinger, that Kinger doesn't have arms. And so that was going to be a little difficult a little later on when I was going to try to do this positioning, because when you look at the meme, like the arm placement is very specific. So I had to kind of figure out a way around it. Like I completely forgot he just no arms to be spoken of at all. Wasn't even a thought that like came to mind. I don't watch the show, so fan art and memes are really the only thing I know about Kinger. When it came to drawing him, it really didn't take long to get his head shape down, because I mean it's literally a chess piece, and then his eyes, I just threw down two circles and boom, like literally there it is. That's the position. That's the pose. I was actually like really happy with how quickly this turned out. Sometimes I could spend hours working on the pose or working on whatever I'm trying to do, and it just doesn't come together. I really like drawing Kinger and Kane, and because the weird shapes are so much easier for me to do because there's symmetry, but like it's a weird shape. It's easy for me to make that look better than when I'm trying to draw a person and trying to make that head look like really good. I also thought I was pretty brilliant for the hair pullback being the bucket. I felt like that was a like big brain move. Like that was pretty next level stuff. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever done Kinger in the meme. I hope not, or else it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, not too embarrassing, but like I really don't know. But for the head shape, I just went boom. I'll do the basic kind. I have a reference photo, but like it's not the greatest reference photo. And then for the bucket later, I had to actually go find myself a reference photo because here I am trying to draw the bucket, and it's just not turning out how I wanted. And then I looked up a photo, and now right around here is when I realized what I needed to do to get that bucket helmet to match and kind of work out. And as you can see, here I am adding the hand in, trying to get that like bucket being pushed back. I was also a little confused on how I was going to do like Kane's eyes closed while he was getting hit, and how I was going to do kind of Kinger's eyes closed, because most people don't have a picture of Kinger with his eyes closed. So I was beginning to question even if his eyes do close, because I mean, like, have you seen those things? I do not see eyelids anywhere on those things. And then I saw some picture. I finally found some, and that it worked out in the long run. So here I am. I'm adding the cloak, getting the position down, and finally I had the conclusion. What I should do is I draw his hand in each position, because there are like 3 build-up frames to this hair pullback, and the hand's in the bottom left corner, far left, and then top. And I realized because I can't like get that arm position, what I do is I draw each of the hands in each of the positions, and that should give that idea of momentum and movement. Here's me skipping ahead and going to the refining of Kane. If you see all that kind of like black powdery stuff that I have drawn all around the hands, I had this really cool idea to do this like dragging effect for like a charcoal powder almost. I turned out it really wasn't good. I really didn't care for it, so I got rid of it entirely. I realized I'm just not going to do that. But for Kane, I also found out that I really don't know how Kane looks. So, like, here I am drawing the bow tie and then drawing the suit under it. And I messed up like 3 different times on the suit trying to figure out how the suit looked. I have reference photos, but like my reference photos are all fan art. So you got to make do and figure out what was implemented and what wasn't. And for each artist, it can change. So I finally just went to Google and found myself some actual photos. Because I mean, like when you go to Pinterest and you look up reference photos, a lot of times it would rather give you fan art than the actual pictures. So it took a little bit to get this down. I am a little sad. I was a little lazy with Kane because I've drawn him really cool sometimes. This time I was a little lazy, so he's not actually as cool as he could be, and his teeth aren't as nice as I normally like to make them. Like I said, I really like to draw Kane. Kane is like up there in my favorites to draw. Kinger's probably right behind him, and then it'd probably be Jax. But like, I wish I was a little not as lazy as I might. Like that's what I'll use the term lazy because like he has some really cool poses he can be in, and his teeth can look really cool. And then it was just basically a figuring out where I wanted and how I wanted his like clothing folds to be and where I wanted his clothing to be. And then I moved myself back to Kinger, getting the rough lines out for the coloring so I can just fill tool this. No one likes to just slide everything. Fill tool is always where it's at. Once I started adding down my base colors, I also thought, wow, this is turning out really well. Like I'm not disappointed by this almost at all. Like just look at these base colors. Like that looks pretty. I think that's pretty fantastic. So I decided to throw down all my flats because I know I throw down my flats, and then I do all my shading. I've been messing around with a couple different shadings and a couple different like line art styles because I've downloaded a whole bunch of pens and shaders from the Clip Studio app. So like my art style has done a drastic change. It lines up more with a sketchy kind of style. I plan on refining it as I practice more. I kind of keep with the sketchy because like it captures a momentum, and I really like that momentum. Though when I see some of these really nice clean line arts, I'm just like, how do they do it? Because like I just either it looks too thin and sloppy, or too thin and like not enough line art, or it looks too like messy. So like I'm never sure. I'm never positive. It is what it is. So, like I said, just throwing down the base colors. I really like his outfit. I never really paid attention to it, but when you're drawing it, and it's just like a really easy like to do. So I'm just like, this one. I don't think this will take much. I think this will actually be pretty easy, pretty simple to take care of, and honestly, it really was pretty simple. So I got everything all filled in, got this hand basically all taken care of. And then realize it's probably time to start working on Kane and getting him all line arted and colored. I mean, first I'd like to throw down my shading. I forgot this is something I did. Like I said, I was really excited about Kinger, so like I kind of forgot about Kane for a solid like 2 minutes. Just like whoa, this is working out so well. Wow, this is just looking better every second I add more. It just looks better. I will say I was not disappointed in the slightest with the end result of this drawing. I mean, I thought there were some things I could have done better, some nicer line art qualities, but overall, I was really happy with the hands because I got like the hands down in like 3 tries. I mean, have you ever drawn hands and been able to like look at that? That's 3 hands, and yeah, I got each of those down in basically like 3 tries. That's pretty dope. That's pretty sick. I felt pretty good about that. And I've also been messing around with trying to use my blending tool. Um, it has not worked out for me a lot of times. So as of recently, I've been practicing with it. Um, and I've also been trying to practice with tones and shades because I find I'm always jumping around on the color spectrum, like going to the brightest and to the darkest. When you get someone like Wallop who's sticking all these low range tones, and me, I can't do it. So I'm practicing in basically art and color. So a lot of times I'm trying to mess around with this stuff. And here, finally, I get to Kane where I start actually doing his coloring and his shading. I also think I should have done the filling in of his mouth in a different color, and I should have colored his teeth in with one of my different brushes. I forgot to use one of my sketch brushes, which is basically a circle round brush with an opacity layer on it, or an opacity, like it's not at full color. So when I do things that are white and like teeth, it's really easy to make it look round and shaded. But because I didn't do that, I think the end result of the teeth just don't end like as nicely as some of my other drawings. I mean, if you've seen my cane speed paint, that thing's like freaking sick. Here I forgot that that band basically for his coat was black. I had to go look at my reference photo and then I realized, oh wait, that's not red. That's supposed to be black. And I also kept forgetting what areas were not supposed to be colored and what areas were to be colored. Because that spot right between his arm and his coat, I kept accidentally filling that in because like when you don't have any, I think I should have done my liner a little better to give me a better example so I don't get distracted and mess up with that. Because that's really what was to blame for it. If I didn't if I did the drawing a little bit better, I think it would have looked nicer and been less mistakable. I did his entire suit and I started doing it in a charcoal black. Kind of just pick the colors just kind of as I'm going based on the mood and the tone. I tried to draw a background and this was further on, but it didn't work out. So this was the end result of the drawing where you don't get to see me finishing off those beautiful hands and you don't get to see me adding my last basically color layer. This is the end result of the drawing. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a comment. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment if you guys think I should animate this scene, because I also animate, and I think it would be a pretty cool idea, but I don't know if I should make a video about it. Be sure to let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!